I don't care about anything else but authenticity. Everything else is bullshit. It's surface. Excuse my French. We don't have time to not be authentic anymore. I don't have time. I can't explain to you the amount of times that I've been concerned with something that really didn't matter, because that's what we do. We concern ourselves with like our drama, or like why didn't this person text me back, or and then all of a sudden I get a phone call from a friend who says my wife was just diagnosed with breast cancer, or I'm at a birthday dinner and the birthday boy's sister died in a car crash while we were at dinner. And these moments remind me that I don't have time to not be authentic, to not speak my truth. I just don't have time, personally. Some people do, I don't. I don't have time to not concern myself and live my life and consume and eat and love authentically. I just don't want to wear any more masks. I'm tired. I got tired at some point. It's exhausting to not be authentic to me. The next generation will be more authentic. I actually don't deny it. I also think the companies that are, not excluding like the major corporations that already exist and are running sort of the world, your Googles, your Facebooks, but when I'm thinking about brands and companies, I'm thinking about, because I work a lot with like brands and companies, is the companies that are doing really well are transparent. We are starting to invest in culture. We're starting to invest not in product, but again, in story, in culture, in what they believe in values. You're starting to see it happen more and more and more. And part of what's, maybe this is a good thing about the internet or social media, is we're realizing we don't need the large brand as much as we can support the smaller organization and community and company. So I do think there's hope. And I do think we become more authentic in time. To the brands who lie all the time, I have no interest in you. I have no interest in you. That being said, it's unfortunate. I participate. I Google things. I participate when I have to. But they don't concern me as much as the people coming up, and they have a responsibility to disrupt the system by being authentic, by providing a service and being straightforward about it. Yeah, to use the cars metaphor, I think it's courage. You have to have the courage to walk away. You have to have the courage to be moved. You have to have the courage to know the thing you always wanted might not be good for you tomorrow. That's the stories that interest me. Those are the people that interest me. Those are the life that interests me is a courageous one. It's just because you've always done it one way doesn't mean it's going to be like that when I leave you. And in order for that to happen, you need to have the courage to be moved. You have to let life move you. You have to let things inside of you. And that's where the question asking comes into play. Asking big questions. Big questions, right? That maybe one day will move you. That you might not have an answer to, but they might move you. Right? Like I'm at that crossroads now where I'd say like, God, is this just because I'm doing it and I'm successful at it, is this the life I want? I do that check-in a lot. Like, is it sustainable? Am I living a happy, like a joyful, peaceful, sustainable life? Or am I just on the train because the train's been set and I think I have to be on the train every day? Or do I have the courage to one day wake up and say, I'm going to get off the train? Yeah. Well, I know too many successful people who are miserable. Like I know them. Like I know them deep down inside. I know them personally. I know 4 people last year who killed themselves, and on Instagram they had 1 million followers. And there was never a post about their unhappiness. Like I know these people. And so I know the lack of authenticity in the world. I know how we crave it. I know when I put something on Instagram, just telling the truth, how grateful people are. Like, radically, they're so wildly grateful. To just know that, like, oh man, it's not that easy. It's not that hard, but it's not that easy. That's life, right? It's not that easy, but it doesn't have to be hard. But we have to embrace that it's not that easy. Yeah. The first thing that happens when you become conscious is you realize why you've been unconscious in the first place. And I'm actually not that concerned with happiness. Of course, I want it, but it's not a goal of mine, because it's a feeling, because I've done drugs and been happy. You know, like so I know that like it can be manipulated. I know that like happiness can come pretty easily if I want it to. Like that's why it's not a goal of mine. Peace. That's harder. That's a goal. That's like an intention. Just waking up in the morning without thinking that there's something else I need to do other than wake up. You know, like going to bed smiling and waking up smiling. These are things I intend to do that are not happiness associated. And when you become conscious and you see the reason you weren't conscious, you realize that why has been driving your life the whole time. Plot is an element, story is the entire life. Yeah, plot is a piece, you know, and story is the restaurant, the way you got to the restaurant, why the restaurant existed, what it'll be when it's done. Plot is a course. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much, man.